Hello, and thank you for listening to the TBG podcast, Trained by Gregson, episode one of Hopefully Many. So, I've tried running podcasts on other platforms in the past before, but not really been consistent enough with it. So, I'm just going to quickly explain who I am before we go into the meat of this podcast. So, I'm Johnny. Johnny Gregson. First off, I have a stutter, so sometimes I may get stuck on a word once or twice. Touch wood, not often. Anyway, I grew up with CP, a disability called cerebral palsy. Happened sooner than I thought there. Left-sided hemiplegia. So basically, my left side is weak. So grew up with that in stutter and a squid. So not had a lot going for me, but still managed to make a lot from life, which will lead into the meat of this podcast. But anyway, so I am an online coach who helps busy professionals still achieve their fat loss goals despite their busy schedule and despite having to balance training and nutrition with other aspects of life, work, family, kids, etc. So, my past experience in the gym, I'll go into briefly. About 4 years ago, I started getting into bodybuilding more. So I've been going to the gym for about 10 years. Intermittently, I played wheelchair basketball. But then I gradually got more into trying to transform my physique and achieve fat loss, get in shape, wanting that six pack, wanting those abs, which led me into bodybuilding, where I competed in 2017, so 3 years ago now. And I've also dabbled a bit in powerlifting, and in terms of my training, dabbled briefly in a bit of CrossFit. So I've tried quite a few things in the gym, but my goal as a business and as a coach is to help busy professionals achieve their fat loss goals. So today's episode is about why mindset, in my view, is crucial to get you those results that you want. So just to go into more of my background, growing up with CP, I was around a lot of people who were into sport, pretty good at sport, football. Like every other child, I had the dream of becoming a professional footballer. And obviously I was taught by those around me to be, like, not as such put down, but taught to be realistic, that obviously growing up with CP, the chances that happen aren't really at all, don't exist at all. But in my head, I'm quite stubborn, again, mindset. When somebody tells me I can't do something, that just gets that fire for me to prove them wrong. So that happened quite often in life, whichever sports I took part in. I started taking part in wheelchair basketball. Would have been 2007. I was about 15, going into my last year of high school. And in my head, I'd eventually found a sport, obviously wheelchair basketball, where I had more of a chance. And I'd played able body basketball in school. Obviously didn't have the balance with the CP, the pace, and things like that. So I thought this could be a sport where I could get good at. And as at 15, you still sort of dream of going to a high level, Paralympics, etc. There was a player from the men's team who just left to go and play professional in Spain, was getting about £1,000 a week, I think, from what I was told. So that was sort of the dream. But then again, I was put back to being a bit more real, that with my cerebral palsy, with having a weaker left arm, again, I was at a disadvantage, catching, dribbling, shooting, passing, etc. You pretty much need two hands. But in my head, that again lit up the fire for me to prove those wrong. I didn't go about it loud. I wasn't very vocal about my dreams, but the dreams were still there. I not evolved my life around wheelchair basketball as such, but most things that I did in life were to get better at wheelchair basketball. Go in the gym, go in the basketball court with my day chair. In wheelchair basketball, you have a different sort of wheelchair which has a wheel on the back to stop you from tipping, and the wheels are slanted. Unlike a normal wheelchair where you can tip back and the wheels aren't slanted. But I'd still go to the basketball courts while I was at school, while I was in sixth form when I had free lessons. I'd just go and shoot. Because my goal was to try and get it as far as I could. I'm the sort of person that, although I have a goal where I really, really want something, i.e. to get in the GB wheelchair basketball team, and although I was told chances are that wouldn't happen, I didn't as such believe it could happen, but I didn't want to grow up thinking, what if I'd done more? What if? So I played wheelchair basketball for about 9 years in total. Played for two or three different teams, gradually improved. Still with the goal of getting far, but left uni, got a job, had to move teams because the team was too far away, and then I couldn't devote as much time to basketball, and I started to then not such get worse, but just realise that there wasn't really much room for more improvement, and I sort of started to fall out of love with the sport that was once my life. Because I'm the sort of person that, for me to enjoy something, I've got to be good at it. I find it very hard to just take part, to just enjoy something without having big goals. But that mindset has got me probably further in life than I would have got without that. So fast forward into bodybuilding, again, even though I was in the disabled class, I was at a disadvantage compared to some in terms of, because bodybuilding's all about proportion, obviously having a smaller left side. But again, in my eyes, that just meant I had to work twice as hard. So, for instance, I would start doing sessions where I just work on my left side to try and bring my left side up, to train my right side less and my left side more. And in my head, I had the mindset of, when I was dieting, when I was trying to gain weight, every aspect of life I had to control, because in my head, I was at a disadvantage, but that meant I had to control aspects of life that others weren't controlling, i.e. sleep, i.e. nutrition being on point every day, having no days off, i.e. recovery, mindset, going into sessions. I had to put everything into the training sessions, into everything, no matter what, because I believed that although I was at a advantage, and although maybe I was being unrealistic, again, I didn't want to look in 10 years' time thinking, what if I'd done this? What if I'd done an extra 5%? So that mindset really helped me in my diet to get lean, for the first time to get abs, for the first time to get pretty shredded. I got my body fat to a low level. Bear in mind the circumstances weren't ideal in terms of time. We had 16 weeks and my start point wasn't the best. My calories weren't the highest. So my calories had come very, very low. And in the end, I was doing 1.5 hours of CV a week. Not a week, sorry, a day. So 1.5 hours of MCOT, stupid stutter. 1.5 hours of what we call this low intensity steady state, so just walking. So that was 1.5 hours. That was on top of a full-time job working nine to five, then leaving work, then going to train for 2 hours. So it took over my full life for about 16 weeks. But in my head, I wanted to give as much as I could. I didn't want to stand on stage for the second time not being in shape. That's a whole new story, which I'll go into on a different podcast. But I'd already been on stage once, not in the right shape. So in my head, that there was no excuse. I had to get stuff done. I can always remember in terms of my mindset, there was one night, bear in mind my food was on about 1,500 calories per day. Fatigue was very high. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'd just have to go back to sleep and do my 1 hour after I train. And there was this one day I'd trained, thought I'll go home, eat, and then go out for a walk before I go to bed. Then I fell asleep, woke up at 11 at night, still needing to do half an hour. So instead of just adding on to a different day, I did half an hour of high intensity training, which actually burnt more calories at 11:30 at night before I went to sleep, just to get it done. So that is the mindset that I've had growing up. Getting it done, no excuses. So I don't use my CP as an excuse. In my eyes, if there's so in terms of, say, strength, if there's someone the same height and same weight as me, same age, and I've got CP, they haven't, and they are stronger. In my eyes, CP shouldn't be an excuse. I should still be as strong as them. It might not happen, but I wouldn't accept being weaker than them. I wouldn't accept my CP as being an excuse. So that mindset hasn't got me there, but has got me further to that point than not having that mindset would. So mindset can help you a lot in diet. You've got to find your why. So you have a goal. I've had many consultations with A&M in the past with people where they have a big goal, but they've got no motivation behind it. I ask them, I go into why they want to achieve it, what they fear if they don't achieve it, how would it impact their life, what benefits would it give them if they did achieve that goal. And they don't have a reason. And that why is so crucial to getting you from A to B. If you haven't got a why, you'll be on that journey from A to B. You might get so far, but as soon as you have a day that's tough, you'll give up. As soon as you have a day where you can't be bothered to exercise, where cravings are high for food, you'll give up. But that why will get you through those days. And that is where an online coach can come into play, keeping you accountable every day. But you don't even have to sign up one. What you can do is there's little tricks you can do where you have a whiteboard in your room or notes on your phone. something that you look at a lot to be. So it might be if you watch TV a lot, have something written down near near your TV with your goals and why you want to achieve them, to remind you of that every single day during this journey. Mindset is such a crucial thing. In my eyes, you can have a goal, but mindset can be the difference between achieving that goal and not achieving that goal. You've got to really want something. That willpower has got to be so high to get you through sometimes. I can talk about any single tip about curbing hunger, about trying to balance life with training, with nutrition. But if you don't fucking want it enough, it'll be fucking useless. You've got to want those results. You've got to have a why of why you want those results. Without that, forget it. You might as well put that dream, put that goal away, because that why is, honestly, I get so riled up about this subject, so passionate. That why is going to be what gets you through. That why is going to be what gets you up in the morning and what gets you going. But it's not just goals in terms of fitness, in terms of training or nutrition. It's goals in life. So that mindset that I have developed through sport, through bodybuilding, through going to the gym, that's transferred into my career, into my online coaching career, PT career. When I left I quit my full-time job, took the risk of quitting my full-time job to go into working as a PT, no savings. I was selling my flat, so I was potentially going to have some savings. However, that wasn't guaranteed. I still took that risk, and a lot of people around me didn't really say it in these words, but I could tell they thought I was making the wrong decision. I could tell they thought that I wasn't going to make it a success because of my CP. But again, that riled me up to prove them wrong. That mindset going into this job led to me working every hour under the sun, putting in 110%, doing more than the guy next to me to get clients, trying to give you more value. That's why I'm doing these podcasts, because my mindset, I'm trying to give as much value as I can to grow my business. So that mindset makes me do these podcasts. So this is episode 1. In 6 weeks' time, I might wake up and think, I can't be asked to do a podcast here. But that mindset will get me on here and get me doing a podcast. So I'm going to end this here. Get that mindset, get that why, and get those goals achieved. Thank you for listening to episode 1. You can check out my socials on Facebook and Instagram, TBG _trained by Gregson. Give me a follow, give me a like this video and subscribe. Any comments below as well, and share this with friends. If you've got Instagram, put a screenshot on your Instagram stories and tag me.